When you discovered the law of attraction, you started to believe anything was possible. Life got better, much better. Now you want more, but it's not working. That's where the Manifest It Now show comes in. If you've been waiting for someone who can teach you the practical application to manifest quicker and easier while having more, turn the volume up, because the dynamic duo, Cassie Parks and Ginny Gain, are ready to teach you how to live the law of attraction like they do. It's time to laugh and learn.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Manifest It Now. I'm here with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gain.
Cass and I have a topic for everyone today. We're going to talk about how to own your manifesting power. So if you are someone that has ever asked that question, how do I manifest this? We are going to talk about it.
Yes. In a little different way than you might expect. It's not going to be the 3-step how to manifest this show, but it's going to be way better than that, because it's the real deal. It's how you really do it.
It's the real deal, guys. We got the real stuff for you.
Always.
What are you excited about, Cass?
Oh man, life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're currently, as we're recording this a little bit ahead. So what I'm super excited about right now is that I'm in New Hampshire and hanging out with new friends, and I get to go see one of my clients tonight, and I'm speaking to a bunch of people that she's introduced me to, which is super fun. And this weekend is just going to be amazing. I get to go to the beach. I get to speak. I get to see one of my clients. We're going to go hang out at this farm that she always talks about, which I'm super excited about, and then go to the top of a mountain. I mean, just going to be amazing.
That sounds awesome.
And then go to Little Italy in Boston on the way home and get some cannolis and stuff. So yeah, like the perfect vacation, everything I love.
That's wicked.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I scripted something like this at one point, right?
Yeah. That's so cool.
So, I know, I'm super excited. What are you excited about?
I am excited for life. As you were saying that, I was thinking how good it feels. I'm in sort of a more like totally ease and flow again. Like couple months ago, I was like inspired and I was in action. I mean, I still feel awesome, but I'm more in the like unfolding ease part of it. So I love all parts. I love all the excitement of that. One of my clients this past week had a great aha in terms of, we've only been working together for a few weeks, and this thing that was happening in her family that was like for the past 5 years, and she went in and we had a new experience this past weekend, and the words that she used to describe it was like, they didn't change, but I felt completely different. And I was like, yes, that's it. You got it. You did it, And that's the exciting part, is that's what happens first, is sometimes we think when we're doing this and is, okay, well, if I think about them different, then they're going to be different. But what actually happens first is like we feel different. We own our manifesting power, and we take responsibility for our stuff, and then it doesn't matter what they do. And that's the ultimate place we want to get to, is being conditionless. I guess that's the way to say it in this world. So that was really cool. I was excited for that. I actually had tears like in my eyes talking about it, which happens often on calls, because it's so just the power of someone having this sort of transformation and experience in their life. I know how important that is. And so that was exciting to witness and be a part of.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah. So good.
I love that as part of, I don't think we had it in the plan, but that is part of owning your manifesting plan to talk about. And maybe we'll have time to talk about that. It's also, we're going to talk about how to own your manifesting power, but that definitely is one way, is to make it all about you, and don't expect anyone else to change, and don't have any part of your manifesting trying to be changing someone else.
Yes. That's definitely going to make it a lot harder.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Okay, where do we want to start with this?
Well,
Well, let's
first, do we want to talk about the live event? Really
yes,
quick?
we do. Definitely go.
Okay. So we are for sure doing the live event on a Friday, which is super fun. And this is, if you're like, oh, it's a Friday, I would go if it's a Saturday. I really want you to challenge yourself, because truly to come to a Saturday event, it's all in our mind, right? So many times we stop things before they even gain the legs of like power and momentum and energy, because we have these other preconceived notions, right? So if you were like, oh, well, I totally would have gone if it's a Saturday, but I can't go if it's a Friday, you'd have to fly in Friday night generally to make it to our 10 a.m. event on Saturday. So it's likely no different. So like shut that down. Like just be like, no, let me explore this possibility if that was anything that happened in your head.
I love that. I love that being the following thought of like, ooh, do I want to go to this event? And instead of coming up with reasons, pros or cons, just say, ooh, I want to explore the possibility of this. And bam, done, leave it open. And you'll get information, you'll get signs, you'll get more feelings, and let that be the process instead of deciding, logically thinking, these are the good parts, these are the parts that are possible, these are the parts it's not possible, and doing that list with your head.
Exactly. And just stay in the possibility. No matter what the answer is, just leave it open for a little while, And so we're going to do it Friday. It'll be in the afternoon. So it'll be 4 to 6 in the afternoon with our VIP dinner. We'll follow immediately. So, we'll have time for pictures and stuff, not immediately, but pretty close to immediately. So if you want to join us, it's like a 2-hour living room live podcast, but you get to come up with the topics. So
that's a great way to describe it. Right? I love it. A 2-hour living room live podcast. Bam.
Yes. So you get to ask the question, right? So if there's a question you've always wanted us to ask, or you wanted a little bit more specific on whatever it is, you get to be in the room and you get to ask that question. And then we talk about it just like we do on the podcast. Both of us will give our explanation and talk about it. And if that spurs another question, then you get to ask that. And it's an intimate group. And again, it gets to be tailored to you. It's live. It is pretty much exactly what happens here, except for you get to be in the power position of asking us whatever you want.
And engaged with the conversation, which is cool, because the more specific you are with your question, the more we can be specific with the guidance. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is, I'm just going to tell anyone so no one again, as we do things like this, I like to point out where you might get in your own way. So, I don't know how much it would be. And some people get afraid to go to the website and even look how much it is, what the investment is. So it's $333 to hang out with us for 2 hours in fellow Manifest It Now community. And then if you want to add on the VIP dinner, which is like going to a girlfriend dinner with Jenny and I. So you can ask more questions. And it tends to be a little more personal. It tends to be us diving into you a little bit more. And you get to ask the questions, but we also get to know you. We hold you to behave like Jenny and I. So there's no old stories at the table. Like it really is learning to be in a girlfriend relationship like we have when we go out to dinner, and what do we talk about and what does that look like, and have an amazing dinner with an amazing group of people. So that is amazing. And so that's $222. So if you want the whole experience, it's $555.
I love our numbers.
Me too. It's so fun. So that's it. And you just go to manifestitnowlive.com and register. And it's in Denver.
And the date is the September 28th?
7th? I believe the 27th is the Friday. Okay, so we are doing it on a Friday.
September 27th.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can fly in, you can
drive in.
Yeah, you can drive in. I know a lot of my clients are going to stay over, which is awesome. So it is Friday the 27th. It'll be at 4 o'clock. So there's plenty of time to drive in during the day. And what I love is that then you can spend the weekend in Denver, or you can fly home Saturday and just get to practice that. So many people, it's like they always, I would hear, like, I always want one day when I get home from somewhere, right? And so what this allows you is you're not flying in Saturday and then flying home Sunday. You're flying in Saturday or flying in Friday. You could fly out Saturday if you want, and you get that whole Sunday at home to practice that if that's something that you've ever wanted.
Yeah, or take some time just for yourself in that weekend. Like stay by yourself in a hotel, get away from the family for a weekend.
Yeah, which I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the time to do your manifesting stuff and hang out by yourself and find fun things to do and really soak in what we said in the event. Because that's the other thing. I think so many people, I did this, right? I was so scheduled and I had limited time at work that I would, I'd come home late the night after the event and I'd go to work the next day and I just didn't give myself enough integration time. That's something that I would do more of, if I was doing it again.
The processing. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, all right, now where do you want to start with our owning your manifesting power topic?
I want to start with the actual question this came from, because we've had a few people asking these questions of like, okay, how do I manifest this? And we're like, okay, well, you're listening to our show. And so instead, not just that question, how to actually answer that question. Like, you guys know what to do. And so it's not necessarily about what do I do. And so we wanted to answer this question with, okay, own your manifesting power. Like, own what you do know, own what you are doing. And so what does that, Cass, mean to you? Like, what does owning your manifesting power mean to you?
Well, for me, there are two types of people. There are people who are trying to manifest, and there's manifestors.
Can you guys feel the difference in that? So you know how we talk about doing and being? There's people who try to manifest, so they're doing all the things. And then there's people who are manifestors, so they're being a manifestor. It's a great example.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a distinct line. And so part of it is a choice, and we'll talk about that. But before we do that, do you want to talk about, let's just kind of give some examples. What do people do that are trying to manifest? And then we'll talk about, what does a person who's a manifestor look like? What are their characteristics? What do they do? Mm-hmm. And then go into that? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So I think when you're trying, and I think this is and Cass and I have talked about, this is a part of getting into it in trying to be a manifestor, or is those things that people tell you to do, like write your gratitude list and what are the other big things? Say the affirmations and
create a vision board.
Create a vision board. And just to highlight, these are like these can all be powerful things. We're not saying these aren't good. Okay. We're just saying how you're doing them. So
saying a mantra.
Saying a mantra. One of the biggest things is saying I can't look at that. Like, I don't have to look at that because it doesn't feel good. Or I don't have to do that because it doesn't feel good. I know that's it's like catch-22, but that is actually something when we're trying to be a manifestor that shows up, is we say that to ourselves. Oh, I'm trying to manifest this, so I can't look at what's bad.
Right. Or they actually say, I'm trying to manifest. Or
yes.
I think another clue is I'm manifesting, because you and I never say that.
Yeah.
I think most people that have crossed the line, they own their manifesting power. They are a manifestor. Mm-hmm. They don't say I'm manifesting that, right? Mm-hmm. They're just, because it's almost like, this is what I'm working on. I think it's the energy behind it, right? Generally when someone says that, it's, I'm trying to do this. I'm working on this. I'm figuring it out. I'm doing all the lists that we just talked about, right? Mm-hmm. And which that list often comes from a bunch of different books and a bunch of different coaches, and you've mashed it all together and been like, if I do more, which this is a key for people trying to manifest versus manifestors, they do a lot of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They think more is going to get them more. Mm-hmm. Right? So if it's not working, let me add another technique. Let me read another book. Like, trying to manifest is there's just this energy about it too, right? This spinning. Working. Yeah, it's working. It feels a little like a hamster wheel.
Efforting, yeah.
Yeah, efforting. It's it doesn't feel easy.
Yeah. It's when that might be it might be as simple as catching that thought. Like, do you say those words to yourself in your head? I'm trying to manifest this, or I am manifesting this. And how does that feel to you? Like when you say that, or when you think that, is that like, oh yeah, this is fun and easy? Because there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's fun and easy.
Right.
Or is this, I have to work, am I working at this? This is my project.
Yeah. And they also, so asking things like, why isn't it working? What else can I do? How should I do it differently? They also like, a lot of times they know a lot, but they're not putting a lot of it into play. If you're trying to manifest, right? You know a lot because you read a lot of books or you've watched a lot of things about things, but you're not. You just know a lot. Actually, I'm going to stick to just what is not, and then we'll talk about the difference. When we talk about a manifestor.
Okay, can you hear that thunder in the background?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's so
I was
exciting.
like, what is that?
I actually love thunderstorms, and I really learned now living in Florida, like it legit happens every afternoon in the summer.
Wow.
But I love it. Our poor little dog Kaya comes all close whenever she hears it. It's adorable.
Aww.
I know, but it's so, I love watching them and I love the rain. And I've been told to just, keep waiting. The hurricane season's coming. And I'm like, okay, I can't wait. Okay. So maybe let's talk about how we cross that line.
Yeah. Should we talk about what a manifestor is first?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So this is somebody who knows they're going to get what they want, who is really, I think one of the keys to being a manifestor is, I guess, I don't know if this has to be true, but for me it is. It's making that shift to the long game that we've talked about in a couple episodes back.
Yeah, I think that's a great example.
Yeah, it's being a long gamer. A manifestor really trusts. They trust the process. They trust themselves. They trust their coach if they have a coach. They have this overwhelming trusting, which leads to doing less. They don't have a manifesting chore list. They have the things that they do that they love that work really well for them because again, they're in it for the long game. They have this vision of where they're going. They're not really, sometimes you're wanting to manifest something specific, but you're also, something that happens when you become a manifestor is you realize when you say things like, oh, I'd really love that. It's going to show up in a couple days,
I feel like it's like a way of living. It's like a way of life.
Yes.
And it's not it's not one part of your identity. It's infused into everything you do.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's who you're being.
It is who you're being. That's a difference. A manifestor is being and embodying being a manifestor, which means they're never asking the question, how do I do this? And that doesn't mean that question is wrong. We're going to talk about how to cross the line, but they're in the process. They know the questions that they ask are about moving forward, or they're not about the specific things. How do I get this? How do I do more of this? They're really, I would put them in a clarity type of situation, right? And again, manifestors are being that. And so it's in all aspects.
I just think it's so crazy how there's this idea out there that manifesting is only the things that we get in our life. Just erase that idea out of your head, because everything that comes into your life, you manifest. Manifestation is the process of turning non-physical energy, thoughts and ideas into physical stuff, your physical reality. We manifest our whole life. Everything is a manifestation. And so saying, trying to narrow it down and say, how do I manifest this one specific thing? You're playing too small. You have so much more power than that. And so we're going to talk about how you can own it.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about how you own it and how you cross the line.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
You make it you decide. First and foremost.
Cassie said before the show, she's like, decisions are my favorite.
They are.
And it makes me think of Elf. Smiling is my favorite.
Yes. Oh, I love that you just quoted Elf on the podcast. That's amazing. I totally manifested
You're welcome.
you.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, that's different. Okay. I was gonna go off topic and share about this weekend, but
Crossing the line.
Crossing the line.
Yeah.
You decide, right? It's about you, and it's about owning it. It's the decision. Like, I'm gonna own. I'm a manifestor. Like, which side of the line do you want to be on? And there's a whole path on both sides, right? Like, and you got to start on one side and manifesting the stuff and come up. But what I see happen so often is that people stand at the edge of the line, right? They've done the basics. They've done a lot of the work. They've learned,
seen
they've
a lot of
manifested
evidence.
some big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of evidence. They've probably even manifested some really big stuff. But they stand at this line and they stay on the side of I'm trying to manifest versus owning a manifestor.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is about owning that and stepping into that and saying, this is who I am. I know how to do this. I've done it before. Mm-hmm. Because just even when you say that, your brain starts to behave differently, right?
Yeah.
I know how. When you say, I know how to do this, your brain literally looks through the files and is like, oh yeah, you do. Here's how you manifest.
Right.
Right? Like, versus trying to manifest and having a different list, which could have been exactly what someone else told you, or it might have your own caveats in it. But it really is like a file system. Your brain can pull out the piece of paper and go like, yeah, here's how you manifest. Mm-hmm. Right? Because that's who you are, you just start thinking and you cross the line by making the decision mm-hmm. and owning it. So we want to talk more about owning it.
Yeah, I just want to
how do you own it?
Add on to that. Yeah, how would you own it? If this is you and you're listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, I have been there. Okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to own it. I'm ready to be it. Literally write down. I don't use manifestor a lot. I actually use deliberate creator or powerful creator or something like that. So I am a powerful creator. And then why? Oh, I did this. I felt this. I experienced this. I moved myself from here to here. Then my life changed in this way. Build the evidence, build the story, and the reasons why you are to help solidify that in your experience.
Yes. I actually don't use the term manifestor either when you said that.
I know. I'm like,
yeah.
You saying it, I'm like, we don't ever say this word.
We don't. And I think it's just because it was like how to manifest versus like being this person, right?
Yeah.
And so choose, so I would add that. Choose whatever it is, whether you're going to call yourself a manifestor or a powerful creator or deliberate creator. Mm-hmm. Mine is like, I get what I want. Like, I'm somebody who gets what they want.
I love that.
Like, it's not even...
It's great. Lisa and I actually do that back and forth too. Like, she'll say, oh, I got this. And I'm like, my girl gets what she wants. And she's like,
yes.
Yep. It's great.
I love it. Yeah. So choose, and that's even part of it. Like, you get to choose all parts. So choose the label, like we talked about last time, right? Like that mm-hmm. implies certain things, and it puts up certain, going back to that last episode, it puts up, I talked about those boxes that tell you who you are. If you choose, I'm a deliberate creator, mm-hmm. and you own that, like, it automatically like puts that box, and anything that is not about you being a deliberate creator, like, no, I don't do that. Mm-hmm. Right? So when you question like, oh, how do I manifest this? Or am I doing this right? You're like, no, I am doing it right. I'm a powerful creator.
Right. And so setting mm-hmm. that foundation and that baseline, owning that, like making that declaration almost, it helps you set the point. And then so if you have a thought of, oh, should I do this? Or how do I manifest this? You can go back. Does that fit in with this? Does that fit in with this way of being? And it's like, yes or no. And then that might be the place where you trust. So you realize, oh, that thought doesn't fit in there. But inside you, you might still be feeling a sense of like, but I don't really know that. Just go trust. Go back to claiming your identity as a creator and trust that the pieces will fill in. You don't have to know it all at once. But this first step into being this person is definitely claiming that you do know how to do this. You are doing this and it is happening. And the more time you spend there, the more you will feel that. And then the more, again, evidence you'll get of that.
Yes. And so then I want to add another. So claim, trust, and then behave. Right? So you're going to claim it. You're going to choose your label. You're going to trust when you have, little bit of wavering, and then you're going to behave, right? So you're going to behave like a deliberate creator who trusts, right? So when you come up against a situation, you're going to go, okay, like I've already claimed this. Does this fit into this? I'm going to trust it. And then you're going to behave like you're somebody who trusts it. And you're going to, so that might mean going to do something fun instead of reading another manifesting book.
Yes. Like that.
In fact, it likely does.
I know. I was going to say it's so often like that. I catch myself once in a while in the dipping into this and feeling, because I love reading the like self-help books, but there's been less and less that are like calling to me. But there have been times that I'll be reading it and I'll feel that sense of this isn't for pleasure anymore. This is because I feel like that I'm going to get something from this. And that's my symbol of like, oh, this is not what a deliberate creator, someone who gets everything she wants, does. And this, because all the information comes in at the perfect time. But this, like your quote unquote, I call it like your alignment practice. It shows up so much in this place because we get into this rhythm of doing these things and it serves a purpose at the beginning. And then it does not serve a purpose because we change the meaning of it. And so, I just see this come up all the time. And then when you realize, oh, I'm trying to create something through these actions versus when everything in my life is awesome, I don't take an extra 20 minutes and write about this. I go to the beach or whatever that is. And that's when you trust. So taking the action, going to the beach instead of doing the writing is you behaving. That's one of the examples of that.
Oh, yeah. I have two things. Okay. Yeah. So yes, you said alignment practice. Whatever your practice is, deliberate creators, manifestors, powerful creators, people who get what they want in life have that thing that they know works. And so they do that, right? And they do it with intention and they do it with trust and they do it with knowing and they do it because it's who they are. And they do it because they, right? They do it because they are creating their life. They're not reacting to their life. Often, if you are trying to manifest something, it's in reaction. But people who are deliberate and they get what they want and they're creators, like they are always creating what they want next, right?
I love that.
Oh, yes. And the second, I just wanted to make this point for I think it's helpful to some listener is even our stuff. Like I love that thunder. I told a client the other day was we were catching this because this is a process. Again, it's the line, but it's choosing to stay over the line instead of come back, right? Is really where that choice eventually becomes. And I even told a client one of my own books. She wanted to go reread one of my books. And I was like, why are we doing that? And I'm like, nope, not. Go practice. Go remember why you are already a creator. And so it's not even like our stuff. My point is like, it's not just like, cause mine, go read mine. It's always the answer. Like our answers are go remember versus go do something else.
I love that. Go remember, go remind yourself what is actually true that has just gotten lost with all the noise on the outside. Come back to like what you know inside. And that's why I love that question, like the statement and then why.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I always, deliberate creators check into why. Why would I want to do that? And if it's inspired, generally it's because it feels good and fun. And if it's to try and manifest something, it's like, oh, because I want XYZ. That's generally the way they sound, a little bit different. But if you want to just check yourself, that's good questions.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, I'm going to go be a deliberate creator.
Me too, because I've created an amazing week.
You have.
Actually, I've created amazing 3-4 weeks in a row. All my weeks are amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we are going to be back next week talking about fun wedding events. Just a little preluder.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Have a great week, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Go be awesome.
Thank you for joining us on the Manifest It Now show, where you learn how to leverage the law of attraction to manifest your dreams. Now that you're inspired, share the love and review us on iTunes. While you're there, remember to subscribe.